Today I've got a story that will take you to a parable that represents one or more instructive lessons or principles through moral stories. It's about the dog in the manger. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, there was a dog who lived in a large barn. This barn was filled with soft, comfortable hay, which was meant for the horses. The dog, however, was selfish and cared only for his own comfort. He discovered that the hay in the manger made for a perfect bed and decided to make it his own. Now, the manger was a feeding rack where the horses would come to eat their grass. Every day, the horses would come into the barn, eager to enjoy their meal of fresh grass. But as soon as they approached the manger, the dog would jump up, barking and growling fiercely. The horses, frightened by the dog's sudden aggression, would back away and leave, hungry and confused. The dog had no interest in the grass that was in the manger. He didn't eat grass. His food was kept outside in the farmyard, where the farmer would leave big, tasty bones just for him. Yet, the dog stubbornly refused to leave the manger. He preferred to lie on the soft hay, even though he couldn't eat it. He just didn't want anyone else to have it, especially the horses. The poor horses would try to reason with the dog. "Please, let us eat our food," they would say. "The farmer has left delicious bones for you outside in the farmyard. You don't even like grass, so why don't you go and enjoy your meal outside?" But the dog was obstinate. No matter how much the horses pleaded or explained, he refused to move. Day after day, the dog stayed in the manger, growling and barking at the horses whenever they came near. The horses grew weaker and hungrier. They couldn't understand why the dog, who had no use for the grass, would not let them eat it. "What a selfish dog," the horses would say among themselves. "He knows he cannot eat the grass, yet he won't leave the manger. He would rather see us starve than share what he doesn't even want." The dog, however, did not care about the horses' needs. He was determined to keep the manger to himself, even if it meant the horses went hungry. His selfishness and stubbornness blinded him to the pain he was causing others. As time went on, the situation became well known throughout the village. People would come to the barn to see the stubborn dog in the manger, marveling at how selfish and unreasonable he was. The villagers began to use the phrase, "the dog in the manger," as a way to describe anyone who kept something they didn't want, just to stop someone else from having it. In the end, the dog became an example of how selfishness and stubbornness can harm not only others but also oneself. The horses grew too weak to work properly, and the farmer, realizing what was happening, took action. He moved the dog out of the barn and placed him back in the farmyard where his bones were waiting. The horses were finally able to eat their grass in peace, and the barn returned to its normal, quiet state. The dog, now outside, still had his comfortable spot in the sun and his tasty bones to chew on. But he had lost the comfort of the manger because of his selfishness. From that day on, the story of the dog in the manger served as a reminder to everyone that it is wrong to stop others from using something that you cannot use yourself. The villagers taught this lesson to their children, so they would grow up understanding the importance of fairness and sharing. Moral of the story: it would be fair if you did not stop others from using something that you cannot use. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay inspired.